Hey, guys, what's going on? Who's around? Who's around? It is Tuesday, Talk to Tameka Tuesday, and I am here and live and just checking in with nichers and Win and a whole bunch of other folks to see what's going on. Because, of course, only I can get going, get on the road, and then wind up in the state where there's an emergency situation, right? So, no gas at the pumps, all kind of crazy stuff. So yeah, all that stuff is going on, and of course, I'm in Florida today doing what I do, but I have a workshop that I have to do tomorrow at the one of the associations, the local association in Panama City and Panama City Beach, serving that area, doing the employer assistant housing class. So I had to come down here and get that done. And the one thing about that class, guys, is I started teaching this about 15 years ago for the National Association of Realtors. And it was the one of the only, and I always try to look for opportunities for people to own businesses, not just work in them or be a salesperson within them. So that particular model allowed, if they did it correctly, would allow them to create a business that they could actually sell when it was time for them to leave the industry. So this organization, the local one here, has created a opportunity for all of the hospitals and all these other groups. So I'll be meeting with the Chamber of Commerce as well to create a benefit program for their employees. Now, the key piece about that is that there are going to be lots of people who show up to the training, but the number of people who actually implement it is only about 10%. So we've been tracking since we've been implementing the program that only about 10% of the people actually implement the program. So sad for them. The other 90%, but again, you have to find your niche. And so this week has just been crazy. And then the week is just starting, right? And I just keep seeing people like, oh, I'm going to do this. This is going on, or this is not happening in my industry. And it's really all of the stuff that's happening with COVID has got people looking at their businesses differently. And it's exciting and it's scary. But the thing I love about it the most, guys, is that it is forcing people to make a move. How many people do you know that are just sitting and existing? I mean, like literally just sitting and existing and waiting for something to happen. And a lot of business owners that I know, and I'll say business owners really, really lightly, because I know great salespeople. And I'll tell you guys this: you can make $100,000 a year selling donuts. I watch my uncle do it. You can 50-cent donuts. You can make $100,000 a year selling t-shirts. You can make $100,000 a year selling real estate. It really doesn't matter what it is you choose. You can make a six-figure income from that, business. Here's the thing though. Most people who make that money are great salespeople. Like they can sell. It doesn't mean that they're great business people. So I'm telling folks, yes, go ahead. If you want to go do something different, great. If you're a salesperson, you're going to make a rock in any industry that you get in if you have great salesmanship skills. What you're not going to do well in is that if you haven't taken the time to implement strategy, and more importantly, a blue ocean strategy into your business, you'll always just only be a salesperson. And for some people, that's fine. They want to be a salesperson. They love being a salesperson. And that's great. Have a backup plan to being that salesperson, or invest very heavily while you're a salesperson. Because here's the thing about being a salesperson: when you are sick or ill or cannot work for whatever reason, the money stops flowing. So you have to have a backup plan of how are you still going to have monies coming in if the money stops flowing as that one salesperson. If you get tired or you have to do something else, how is the money flowing? So that's the difference between being a salesperson and operating a business. So a lot of people will tell me, "Oh yeah, I'm a business person. I own my business." Uh, you have a business. It's not operating like a business because it can't operate without you. So think about any business, and you guys are I always tell people Elon and Gates and all these other people, they are no smarter than you. They just have figured out that they needed to have processes and procedures and figured they didn't want to be the one man show. So they had to delegate things and they had to let other people do things and they had to hire people so that when they needed to be off, or let's say I want to take off 90 days, can your business still run? So asking yourself this is the reason that I keep trying to tell you guys, until you figure out, here's my niche, here's the business I'm going to be in, then there's always more. The next stage of this is that you got to make your business operate as a business. If not, you just really have a job. So for all those people who are ready to go and ready to jump ship from whatever it is they're doing, and I'll take the person who is operating a convenience store who says, I no longer want to, run. I'll take that back. I'll choose something else. I just met a lady who's like, my purse business is not going well. I'm not going to do that anymore. Okay. Because of COVID? Yeah, COVID. Knock, knock, knock. I do want to tell you, it's not because of COVID that your business is not doing well. It's because you have not set up a business. You are still in the entrepreneurial phase of, I am the business. You're an entrepreneur. And now it makes you have to go back and check exactly what your role is in the company that you are building. Are you good just being solo salesperson? And if you are, then just operate in that space again and invest heavily. If you're not, then start putting resources to the side so that you can work on professional development. You can work on creating systems for your business so that you can put the money back in your business so it can run on itself, on its own. So you are not held captive by this business. Like you can't take a break. Like you can't take a break for 5 days. You can't take a break for 30 days or the business doesn't make money. Make sense, guys? So before you guys jump ship and say, I'm going to leave, or my favorite right now is the amount of people coming into the real estate business and then the amount of people saying they're leaving. If you don't change how you run your real estate business, salespeople in the real estate business, and now you decide, hey, I'm going to go into insurance, you're going to run into the same issue. Is that you haven't created or got with a model that allows you to operate as a business. There are some things that you're missing. So you've got to look within and say, hey, maybe I no longer want to be just a salesperson. I need my business to operate without me. What do I need to do to get there? Those are some of the things that you guys have to start asking yourself, because there are always going to be hiccups in every industry. And the one thing I do know for a fact is that when you are able to find your niche and then get that niche into a blue ocean strategy, which means competition is irrelevant to what you do. And what does that look like? Guys, that looks like what I have to do tomorrow. That the class that I'm teaching tomorrow is also part of my business model. And that there are other instructors who are approved to teach this class. However, this organization was actually contacted by one of those instructors to teach the class. And when she did her research, she says, no, thanks, but no thanks. We're going to go with her. Again, that's where the bag is chasing you. And I've honed in on that niche so that my competition is irrelevant. So it doesn't matter who else has that ability to teach that class. If they haven't honed in on that niche and created a blue ocean strategy, which means I'm out in this wide blue ocean and competition is irrelevant because I'm so damn good at what I do. If you guys can't get your businesses to that space, it's on you. And the only thing that's keeping you from doing that is studying your niche. You've got to study this business. It can't be just enough for you to take something that somebody else gives you to then do this business. So an example of that is if I am, let's say I'm thinking of somebody who's using, who's selling like the $5 jewelry. Now, we all know people who are saying, oh, I sell the $5 jewelry. So that company, I'm sure, has given them a template and says, hey, you can do it this way. And here are the jewelry. Here is the jewelry you're going to sell. But it's on each individual business owner to decide how and what they're going to do with that $5 jewelry. So some of them have said, hey, I'm going to open up a retail store and have my own store where people can try stuff on. Some people have said, I'm going to go online and do shows. Some people have said, I'm going to put my product in, 7 different cities. Some people say, I'm going to put only my turquoise products at the beach. It's what you do above and beyond just the basics of what somebody else is doing. Okay, I'll give you guys another example. If you're a real estate professional and you have went to real estate school and got a license, that was the bare minimum. You're sitting amongst another 2 million people that did the bare minimum. Some of them guessed answers on the exam. They all have this license. That's the bare minimum. Now they've all started to figure out how to fill out the forms at the associations. Still, bare minimum. What have you done in your business that has made you more than just doing the bare minimum? You're the bare minimum agent. You sold 20 houses, you sold 10 houses, you sell 4 houses. If you're only just knowing how to fill in the contract with those blanks in them, you aren't studying your craft. There's so many other ways that you can make money in real estate. However, if you don't take the time to sit and study and then figure out the strategy in which you're going to stay in this business, if that is your normal, then yeah, you can jump ship and go do the same thing as a insurance person. And the insurance business is doing okay right now, so you'll make some money in there, but you'll still just be average if you don't decide that you're going to buckle down, start studying, and come up with a real plan and strategy to be in a blue ocean space. Because in that space, competition is irrelevant and it doesn't matter what they're doing. So what else have you guys got going on? Because I'm addressing today folks who need to go ahead and jump ship and jump into another career, and then those who need to stay exactly where they are and hone in on what they're doing before they jump ship, because it may be that you are still bringing some of those same old practices and principles to your business that is not going to allow you to fly real high when you jump ship and get into another area of business either. So if you don't have great lead generating skills, then good follow-up skills, and then of course my favorite, which most people don't want to touch, is the keeping up with the clients you did used to work with, and having those, then getting into any sales business is not going to change much for you. So there's all kinds of things that are going on with just the business basics that more and more people really need to pay attention to as they look at their own business. It's not really so much the product as it is the person. Because I'm a huge believer in product really isn't going to matter as much as is everything else, because there are billions of people, right? So you don't need to have a whole bunch of clients. You don't need to have all billion clients. You need to hone in and master your niche for your client base. That's why I tell folks all the time, Pepsi is not for everybody. It wasn't built for everyone. Neither was Coke. But they have enough clients to make them millions and millions of dollars. So that's how you guys need to look at approaching some of this. You don't need to work with everybody. Your product and service just needs to, really be what you want it to be. And then you got to dominate that space. It's always about dominating the space and creating the space where, as we were talking the other day, I'm not really, you hear people always talk about the bag is, I got to get the bag, got to get the bag. Some of us are not even looking for the bag anymore. We're looking for the vault because the bag ain't big enough to hold what we're putting inside. And so that's when you get into that blue ocean strategies. That's when you're talking 7-figure. It's coming through your hands. 6 figures is easy, guys. Anybody can do 6 figures. Really, they could with a little elbow grease and a little hustle. You have to really start to look at, when I make my 6 figures, what am I going to put it in? What am I going to invest it in? And take it from there. All right, guys, what else you guys got going on? I've got lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff that I got to get to between. Got to teach 2 classes over the next week. One on this Wednesday, and I believe one next Thursday in Atlanta. And then we have the tours. Baltimore is this week, sold out. Thank you, ladies in Baltimore, the hosts, for getting the word out. And for those who are attending that, and Atlanta for the development conference. So we're trying out these conferences to see which ones we're going to keep and which ones we're not. So each one I'm doing something different, teaching something different. So I can't wait to meet some of you guys there. And what else have you guys got going on? That's jumping ship was my topic for today. And I'm encouraging folks to do it. Jump ship, but don't jump out of one pot of hot water into another pot of hot water because you don't have your basic business strategies and things like that down pat and put in order. You'll be doing the same thing in another industry. So that's right. Y'all heard it first. I was talking to some of my colleagues and we're sitting there and we're like, it's like, okay, what we gotta do next? Yeah, this bag. I'm like, yeah, I know. People talking about they going to get the bag. We're like, not a bag chasing us. Time for the vault, y'all. Time to get the vault open. That's what we talking about. I told y'all 6 and 7 figure partnerships all year long. If we're not making 6 and 7 figure partnerships, I don't want to play. So I look forward to seeing you guys in Baltimore. For the folks who are coming to Baltimore, I've already seen some of the properties that they have there. Someone else just sent me, one of the ladies in 365 just sent, I think, a 36 unit complex that I'm going to review somewhere tonight or something like that. 36 units, multifamily. So that's on the ground for Baltimore as well. And guys, that's about it. That's my time. I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to run over here and grab some snacks before I have to meet with the Compass group at 2:00, 30 minutes. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.